everybody. Welcome back to my platform. Those of you that are returning and those of you that are new, welcome to my platform. Oops, probably a little bit much. My name is Astraea Love, and I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys today. So again, I hope everybody has had a good day wherever you guys are at in the world. God bless you and peace be with you. Please know, you guys, that my readings are timeless, which means it could be 10, 20, 30 years in the future from this date moving forward, and these messages will still be relevant. So you will find individual messages for your spiritual journey in each and every one of the readings on this platform. That is why I suggest that you guys watch all of the readings on this platform at your leisure, okay? Because each reading is going to hold an Easter egg of knowledge for you to decode about your own spiritual path. So, welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad to be here with you. Thank you guys for spending your time with me. And let's just go right into the contract. So I'm going to make sure my cards are in the upright while we do the contract. Oh, just an FYI, for those of you that have personal questions, you can send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading, and then I will answer your question, and I'll set a 20-minute timer. That is the way that I'm doing personal questions. Okay. So by watching my readings, you're agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself. Welcome, everybody coming in. And that means if I talk about anything, because these readings are for you to help you troubleshoot and problem solve so that you can use your discernment in real life. This is a great time to practice using your discernment. So then when you go out into the real world and something comes up, you go, oh, hey, I remember what Astraea said. Or, oh, hey, I think I remember Astraea said, listen to your gut feeling. I want you guys to pay attention to yourselves. So that is my hope. That is my wish for you guys, to expand your discernment and basically use it. Okay. So if I talk about anything in the realms of health and you feel like that resonates, make sure you follow up with a doctor. If I talk about anything in the legal realm and you feel like that resonates, please make sure that you follow up with a lawyer. That is just being responsible with the energy. No bullying me, anybody in the comments or anybody in the chat. That includes making fun of me, harassing, or anything else. All right. So there are 2 books tagged in the products and linked in the description box below that I am going to briefly talk about. Now, I have more than 2 books tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. I have tagged all of the books on my spiritual journey that have helped me. So I've got The Alchemist down there. I've got The Truth of God, which we'll be going into. I have Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells. I've got some Louise Hay stuff. So when you're interested, check the tagged products. And I'm going to be talking about 2 books that are very dear to my heart, just very briefly at the beginning. So if you're interested in hearing about these books, stay to the ending of the reading, and I will do an in-depth talk about them. The first book is called The Truth of God, and it is an advanced intuitive living workbook written by Michael STEADMAN, MichaelSteadman, who is a doctor of divinity. Now, I've been using the techniques from The Truth of God for about 10 years with success. Okay, so that's 10 years under my belt already of using these techniques with success. So if you stay to the ending of the reading, I will open it randomly and read a little bit from it, and then we will go over it. So I'm going to read the back of the book to give you guys a taste, and I will be talking about the techniques that I use every day from the book at the very end. Okay, so the Truth of God is an evolutionary encounter. I don't know why Gaza tried to come out. I literally don't even know where Gaza is. I'm not ready to get into the reading yet. Spirit, stop with the messages. I mean, don't actually stop with them, but where is Gaza located? Sorry. Please don't think I'm stupid. I'm going to find out right now where it's located. It's in the Middle East by the Mediterranean Sea. Oh, it's in Israel. Okay. What the hell does it, what does that, let's see, it makes up one of the two main Palestinian territories, the other being the West Bank. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything, so we'll get into the reading. Let me go back to reading this book, okay? So the truth of God is an evolutionary encounter with that which we know as God, gaining new perspective into who we are and from where we came. First, the journey to God. Maybe Gaza just needs our prayers. That's like kind of what I'm getting. But first, the journey to God takes you to the realm where it all began, making many discoveries along the way. Next, the story of God explains what has seemed to be indescribable creation and the path that led to what we perceive to be reality. Last, in the spiritual workbook, Michael gives information and techniques that will allow us to free ourselves from those ideas and emotions that are hindering our spiritual progress, and methods to open up the channel between the conscious mind that we are aware of and the inner consciousness that many are becoming aware of. This book will change your guys' life, okay? The second book I'm going to be talking about is the book that I have written, and it is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, written by me, Astraea Love. I wrote this book to teach you guys how to read cards for yourself and for other people. I personally didn't have anyone but Vassago and God to help me, and so this is why I created this book. So I'm going to read the back of the book. Also, I have tagged in the products and linked in the description box below the quick and easy original Rider-Waite tarot deck with the description on the cards. If you learn the interpretations from these cards, you can go to any specialty deck, and when they give you an abstract picture that has nothing to do with what the card means, you will know what the actual card means. In fact, when people ask personal questions and I use another deck, I always keep this one out because I could pull a card that, you know, that doesn't, the picture doesn't represent what it means. And then I always want to have the original. Okay. So this book was inspired by the Ars Goetia spirit known as Vassago. He has assisted me in designing the different tarot card spreads in this book so that they cater to your personal experience. I, for one, know how difficult it can be to read cards for yourself due to our personal attachment to the outcome. This book will assist you in getting past that blockage and obtaining the spiritual truth that will set you on your divine life purpose, aka spiritual path. This book of never before created major arcana spreads references the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck for all explanations and includes spells and rituals for each of the 22 cards. There's 22 major arcana cards. That's your guys' favorites, like the High Priestess, the Hierophant, etc., the Magician. And then different card combination descriptions are gifted from my years of practical knowledge and are included in the additional notes section. Okay, so you guys, God bless you. Peace be with you. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm just going to give these cards a shuffle, and we're going to talk about the message that I picked up on. So basically, there's a group of beings, and when I looked at this group of beings, I want to say that I would consider them to be a group consciousness. Now, group consciousnesses are groups of beings that all come from the same place, or they all have a connection to one another, and so it's a group consciousness. In the past, throughout my journey of being a spiritual person and working in the metaphysical store, usually when we picked up on group consciousnesses, they were not positive, but this one is like neutral. So they're not positive and they're not negative. They're just the attitude of this group consciousness is like, yeah, we understand that somebody did something to the collective. We just don't care. Like, because somebody has made a mistake, all right? They've done something to you, or they did something in regards to you, okay? This could be something spiritual that they did. It could be something physical that they did. Whatever somebody did, whoever this person is, literally... Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for your kindness. Literally, whoever this person is, they're in, I was going to say a bucket of shit. They're in a tough situation right now because they don't really have a reason. Like when it comes to why these beings literally do, they're in the DGAF, don't give a right energy, is because this other person when they did whatever they were doing to you, whether it's slandering you, doing witchcraft on you, whatever they were doing, they were in the do not give a energy. So this is like basically this person who was attacking you didn't give a, right? You get where I'm going with that, about doing it. And these beings don't give a, that they're sorry about doing it, or they're not really even sorry. They're just like, oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to target them. And these beings are not stupid. Like, I don't know why people continue to think that the spiritual realm is ignorant, but it's not. It's not stupid. Nobody is deceived here. Crazy. Well, it's just crazy to me that this person is now trying to argue the fact with a whole group consciousness, a whole group of beings that are like, nah, we don't want to hear it. Whatever this person is trying to say to defend themselves. Oh my gosh, I'm serious. This group consciousness doesn't care. They don't want to hear it. They're like, and you think that we're supposed to stop everything that we're doing? Because look, this person was trying to revert you back to an old past. They were trying to do something snakish, really evil, really mean to you. Okay, they had no care, no consideration for you, for your feelings, for your life, for your livelihood. And these beings, they take it seriously. Like, they're no nonsense beings, right? And in the fact that they are a group of beings that don't play games. Like, they're not like demons, where demons will sit around and play fucking game, excuse my language, play games all day with people. These beings do not play games. When they show up, somebody's passing away, or somebody is transitioning, I should say, to the other side. These beings are sent on assignment, first of all, to respond to the energy that was put out about you. And now the response from this person is, oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. And these beings are like, and well, we're not going to make this. You made a mistake by attacking the collective who did nothing to you, but we're not going to make the mistake by allowing you to get away with it. Well, that's basically what they're saying. So in one breath, you can say, oh, I'm so grateful that I'm protected. I'm so grateful that there's a group consciousness of beings working on my behalf. Yay. And then in the other, we can go, well, this is a learning curve situation, so that, be careful who you attack. Just don't attack people is what I would say. But like, literally show respect for human life, show respect for other people's lives, and these situations won't even occur. If people had respect more than jealousy, if they had self-respect, self-love, all of that more than they had jealousy, these situations would never occur. But the fact that they are occurring just goes to show you that somebody, like, they did not care. They felt justified in what they were doing, even though any person with any common sense would say, look, you're not justified to do that to that person. There's no reason to try to strip that person of their resources. There's no reason to not help them. Whatever this is about, this person is now getting turned away from jobs, from opportunities, because there's a group consciousness can do a lot more than what you think. Like, think of just what one, demonic entity can do. And these aren't even demons, but just think of how one demon can manipulate and control and dominate things, right? Then think about a whole group of spiritual beings. And I want to say that they're like multidimensional. They can pop in and out of the dimensions. Like, yeah, I was looking at the different definitions. I was like, ultra dimensional, interdimensional. The closest thing that I came to in the definition wise was multidimensional. And so they communicate telepathically, okay? And they have been talking, and they're like, we as a whole, as a one consciousness, because a group consciousness is many different individual consciousnesses, the words right now are wording. Consciousness. Anyways, there are many individual consciousnesses, right? Okay, I had this dream this one time. I don't know why this is coming up, but I had this dream where I was this like lady, Well, I was like a spiritual being, and um I had like I had many faces, like not on my head, but I had like a face and a personality here. I had another one here, 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 here. I had faces, full faces all over me, right? Okay, and I was giving birth to like genies, many genies. Just a really weird dream. I don't know why this is coming up. Oh, because we were talking about group consciousnesses. And in my dream, there was this guy who kind of looked like Aladdin, like but he was very attractive. And so I was living in a house with him. He was kind of keeping me captive. In the dream, there would be like randomly this like black smoke would like swirl around, and then it would take me and transport me to another realm. Anyways, when I would come back, that person, there was like a old person that owned the house that we were staying in, and they were in the upper part of the house and I was in the basement. I was being held captive in the basement. And this guy would pretend to be so sweet to me. This guy that looked like Aladdin would pretend to be so sweet to me. Like when this old lady was around, but when the moment she left, he would start like whipping me and turn into a psychopath. And then it was like on that cycle of me. And I was thinking maybe I was in a lamp, something like that. So anyways, I had that dream and it was pretty disturbing, but the good thing that came out of it is that I learned a lot about how to create a really good villain because of that Aladdin looking character's attitude towards me. So yeah, when I create a villain now for any type of book that I'm gonna write, I'm gonna use the characteristics that that freak weirdo had. So anyways, that's like, you gotta look at the positive and everything. But what I'm getting here is like, um, that being that I was, whatever I was, I had the faces all over me. And the weird thing is that I could feel in the dream, I could feel the expression, the emotional expression of every face on me, and they were not all the same at the same time, which is kind of weird. But it's giving that group consciousness vibe. So traditionally in a group consciousness, it will be the same expression, but for me, it was different expressions and all of that. So and I would give birth to hundreds and hundreds of jinn at a time, like just, and it wasn't painful birth because I've never had birth in real life. So, anyways, but I do know that obviously it should be painful, but that was just a dream, that part. But this group consciousness is like not playing games with whoever this is. They if all of these beings feel like it's necessary to come to me to get a message out, I feel like it's important enough to listen, I mean, with my discernment, obviously, to what they have to say. Because what they're saying to me is not a threat, not for me. It's just, telling the human world that, hey, there are other beings out there that exist and there are consequences. Every time that somebody attacks an innocent person, 144,000 activated family. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, is it Mercury retrograde right now? I thought we were free of retrogrades for a little while. Where? In fact, I was going to ask if there was anything in retrograde. Are any planets in retrograde right now?
Yes, Pluto is currently retrograde, starting May 6th and lasting until October 15th, 2026. Mercury will be retrograde from June 29th to July 23rd, and Saturn starts its retrograde period on July 26th, 2026.
Wow. Pluto is like the energy of Hades. So when I think of Pluto, I think of Hades, but I also think of where you travel to the afterlife, how it's in the stars. That's literally, and next up is Saturn. Saturn's not a good one to go in retrograde. I mean, look, the thing is that when things go into retrograde, it's just bringing us the shadow. It brings out the shadow aspects that we're not used to with the planets. But it's actually not a bad thing, even though it can cause disturbances and annoyances. 'Those are things we're supposed to be getting past. 'Cause, you know, it's actually not a bad thing, even though it can cause disturbances and annoyances. Those are things we're supposed to be getting past. 'Cause, you know, it's actually not a bad thing, even though it can cause disturbances and annoyances. 'Those are things we're supposed to be getting past. So, yeah, this group consciousness, I don't know what to call them because they don't really have a name per se, but let's just say that they're all of one mind, okay? And so the way that they feel is that people need to be aware that there's like cosmic and universal consciousnesses out. There's more than just the human consciousness. I'm so sorry with that word, consciousness out there. There's more than just that. Not only that, kind of how Pocahontas goes around and says there's a consciousness, there's like living part, conscious living part in every rock, every tree, every creature. These beings are more of a mind of being like, yes, there is consciousness in everything. And so as humans, learning to live a life that respects nature, respects consciousness, I think that's important. But also the message that we're getting here is that blindly following other people. So if somebody, and I see people do this all the time without having proper knowledge, they blindly follow another person and they jump on the bandwagon to hate and betray and backstab and attack another person. And to me, that seems kind of foolish because if you don't know for sure yourself, then you shouldn't just be following other people. Why do people think other people's like intuition and advice and what they're doing is more on point than their own? This is how I know that these people are not tapped in with their inner self. The thing about these beings, these multidimensional beings, they don't care. They do not care, okay? That somebody is like, oh, I made a mistake. Okay. They're like, and you made a mistake and you're going to pay for that mistake. That's how these beings are. Like, to me, they seem like calculated, like mathematical or something that you know, it's giving like Mars energy, but very competitive. They really, just like this person held the energy of don't give a, you know what I mean? They did not care at all when they were attacking you what the consequences would be. They did not even think that, oh, anything would happen to them because they felt justified and because they've been spoiled, literally spoiled by the universe. This person has been spoiled to the point where they are either on section 8, like they're getting all of their bills paid for, they're getting all of their, like, they don't have to do anything in their life, I mean, up to now. Okay, so then they see you, hard old working you, okay, I'm not calling you old, but hard working you, they see you, and then they're like, that person is wrong. That person is the devil. That person is this, this, and this, and this. And they make assumptions based off of information that's not even true about you. Like, they'll look at you and just make an assumption, and then they think that that assumption is right. And these beings fall under being obedient to Allah. Okay, so they maybe that's where Gaza was coming from. This group of I want to call them, like, I don't want to call them murder angels, but they're like extraterrestrial angel type creatures. They're beings, okay, that can go from one dimension to the other, and they basically, yeah, they're like top notch beings, right? So they don't have wings though, so that's why I don't want to call them angels or fairies, because they don't have wings. But anyways, they're group consciousness. That's like the best way that I can describe it. It's probably why the thing about the dream with Aladdin and all that came out, because that was such a weird dream. That, oh my gosh, it was so weird. So these beings are saying, like, no, stay with it. What they're saying to this person is stick with the energy that you held when you were attacking this person that we're connected to. How are these beings connected to you? That's what I want to know. Well, I guess I don't have to know that, though. It doesn't even really matter, because these beings, they really, just like this person, did not care at all what their words, their actions, their deeds against you, their campaigns, their all of this cooking up drama, trauma. They had no care in their mind, because in their mind they have no responsibility. Like, literally, they don't have to worry. Like, they don't, this person, I'm trying to explain this person. This person does not have a care in the world, and this is why they're shocked that there is a whole group consciousness that is now after them because they were having their needs met through whatever method, whether it's getting child support, being on Section 8, they were having every need in their life met, not knowing what it's like to have to work hard, not knowing what it's like to struggle, being gifted everything. This person in this lifetime karmically was being spoiled because they've been attacking you for a minute, and for a good minute now, okay, for some time, and without a repercussion. Okay, like like every time they attack you, they lose small things, but they don't like, and this is what irritates me with the universe, and I'm sorry to say this, but it 100% does, is like when people will make a mistake, but then it takes karma a little bit to catch up with them. And then that person is like, wow, my life went to SHIT, everything fell apart, nothing's working out for me. And they have no idea why, because the incident that caused all of the downfall of events happened so long ago. The universe needs to be quicker about getting people their karma so that people can learn immediately that, oh, okay, well, that was the wrong choice to make. I'll make a different one. The thing about these beings is that by this person attacking you, it invited these beings into this dimension. I'm going to say that again. This person and their little group of weirdos, of gang stalkers, them attacking you, invited. It opened the door. You could say portal, open the door, wormhole, whatever. To the upside down. It opened the door for this group consciousness, this very large group of beings to come into this dimension. So had this person not ever attacked you and tried to come for you, these beings would still be doing whatever they were doing in another dimension. Now they're like physically in this dimension and manifesting, because like I said, they're multidimensional beings. Oh, thank you for the sticker. I love that goat trophy. That is adorable. That is so adorable. Thank you so much. And so, yeah, like these people are tripping out right now because that same energy of like, I don't care what I do to somebody. I don't care how I affect their life. I don't care at all. They need to keep that energy. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me get rid of this person that had their profile picture is literally Hitler. Sorry, homie, don't play that. Okay, we love the Jews over here. We love every type of people over here. You need to go. And I report you to God and the Holy Spirit for being a freak. Okay? Sorry about that, you guys. Thank you for the flower. So yeah, the problem with this whole situation is that now these beings are here and they're sent on assignment to protect you. You could have been seeing either orbs or just seeing things like movement in your peripheral vision, because these beings are around you, but they don't want you to be afraid. So and they can communicate telepathically. They communicate with animals as well, by the way. But yeah, and these beings do have the ability to grant wishes, like to some form of extent. Oh, thank you for the flow state sticker. They were there all along. Yeah. Yeah. Whispering on the edge of reality. Yes. That is such a good description. Oh my gosh, that's such a good description of them. Yes, absolutely. That's such a good description of them. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we're talking about is we're talking about somebody who got in together a group with people and are attacking you guys in the collective. And there's a group consciousness. We don't know what to call these beings yet, but that was a very good description. Whoever had just said that. Yeah, hearing them whispering on the edge of reality. That was a very good description. I do agree with that. They operate under a law, but they come from the Middle East. So they come out of some type of portal or hellhole or something going on over there. But anyways, they were doing something else completely different before they became aware that they needed to come and protect you. And so now that's what they're doing. And this other person was holding the energy of, I don't care what I do to that person. Like the person that was attacking you, you'll probably figure out who they are. They've never really worked for anything in their life. Like they've never had to work for anything. They've had everything gifted to them. They've had a real easy experience. This lifetime for them, and up until now, has been relatively easy without any type of challenge or having to go through like losing people, losing their job, whatever. Like this person probably doesn't even work. The person that started it, I don't think has a job. But the other people in the group, they do have jobs, they do have regular lives. So we're going to see what the tarot has to say, but this group consciousness is like, well, keep that same energy. You didn't care at all what you were doing to an innocent person in the collective, and their cries, their grieving, their lamentation, their weeping found us. Like, what are the odds of that? You know, you just have to know that you are divinely protected by spirit, literally by these beings. And like, they're like, this message got to us. If it got to us, that means that there's this type of being that knows about it, this type of being that knows about it. And so I'm like, wow, it's really interesting. 10 of Wands. And now this person that was doing this to you, they had no problem trying to force you to carry a cross and die for them. Like they had no problem with you being the one carrying the burdens, suffering, struggling, and doing all of the work and all of that. This person's lazy. And they don't know they don't have ambition. This person is so pissed off at you because you're ambitious. You're not just ambitious, you're skilled. Like there's multiple aspects as to why this person does not like you. You are skilled, you are ambitious, you don't give up, you're not a quitter, and you're a lover of people. This person is not a lover of people. They don't even pay attention to the animals that they have or the children that they have. So this person is now experiencing life being a continual battle. But this is what they wanted for you. And this group consciousness is like, no, we don't play that. About the collective, like we don't play that. And so this person has gone to reader after reader after reader, or they could be witchcraft practitioners. A whole mouthful with that. But they could be witchcraft practitioners. Or they could be readers. Either way, this person has gone to multiple people, and what keeps coming through is this group consciousness that is livid, like beyond mad, because it just looks to me like this person was causing you setback after setback, and they were trying to destroy you, and they did not care at all what they were doing to you. They didn't care at all. The choices that they made related to you did not even cross their mind. If you guys could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Please and thank you. So like literally, they are like the jinn, but they're not exactly jinn, but they are like the jinn. Yeah. Yeah. And so, or maybe they're just a different type of jinn that I've never seen before. That could very well, yeah, that could. Yes, Elon Musk is a trillionaire. I saw a notification about that. Is that actually true? I was wondering if that was true. Well, good for him. If he ever comes across this video, I would love Elon for you to send me a donation because I am really struggling in life. That would be great, and I would greatly appreciate it. But I will tell you this group consciousness, it's a group of beings that think exactly the same, that share the same ability to be connected in one consciousness. It's not caring. Okay. I think the stress is that just like this person did not care about hurting you and destroying you, these beings don't care about this other person's life. So the sad thing though, is that these beings are going to turn this person's life literally upside down and make them carry every burden that they thought that they were going to just dump on you. And this is why people need to stop thinking that they're better than other people. Okay. And by the way, something that you did by crying out, by praying, something that you did reach these beings, and they were stuck in a deep, deep, dark hole on the inside of like the earth, okay, across the world. I think maybe from like Gaza, because is what came through at the beginning of this reading. So they were, and we know that isn't that like a war zone right now, or it was a war zone. So that's where these beings came from, that area. And now they're like literally spreading all over. They're coming out of this portal. I guess a hole is a portal, but they're coming out of this portal at a very rapid rate and now they're like physically focused onto the physical realm, and they're not liking what they see. When it comes to the ones that they're connected to, for whatever reason they're connected to you, could be because you had a past life with them. Again, it could be many different reasons, but they are connected to you, they're connected to me, and they're not liking what they see. They're like really, 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 really upset. And first of all, they probably don't like humans that much anyways, but they like their humans, the ones that are the seeds of them. That's what they consider us to be, seeds of them. So we're going to see what happens. We'll see what happens. I feel like these beings are going to create some type of like supernatural event that this person's going to have to acknowledge and then possibly stop doing what they're doing. But even if this person stops doing what they're doing, they have to still fight off an army of whatever these things are. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. They are jinn. That is just like confirmation right there. These jinn are upset. They're just a different type of jinn. You know what they are? They're like more domesticated than the other ones that I've come across. Because I've come across a few that have been kind of ghoulish, like looking like a ghoul, take like a troll and like a goblin and then like turn it to a zombie, like kind of looking like that, like combine those things together. That's what I had experienced before. And it wasn't negative to me, but it was spooky, let's just say that, in the way that it looked. And these beings, they're like regular. They don't have wings, but they're kind of like regular people. Like they have personalities, they have different faces, they have like relationships with one another. They've got their own little civilized society, domesticated, civilized type situation going on. They're intelligent, they're very highly intelligent, and they're very cosmically aware, and they're very tapped into like what they consider to be God. And I'm getting that it's not even though they would consider themselves to be under a law, they're connecting with something that's above what humans think a law is. Okay, so they're connected to an actual real source. So it looks like to me that you are going to get your wishes fulfilled. Whatever you've been wishing for, boom, it's going to be granted. And this other person, your wish fulfillment, if it burdens them, oh well. So they're pointing to the head. They're pointing to the head, and they're showing me like a light bulb, like a light being in the mind. What do I think about sleep paralysis? Thank you for the comment about my backdrop. I think that, okay, this is what I think about sleep paralysis. I don't always think it's a negative experience. I had sleep paralysis a week or two ago, and it was a scary experience, but it was actually positive because I was being paralyzed. So this little mini voodoo doll, and this was like a dream, obviously, was jumping around me, putting pins in me, but it was actually healing me. And so, yeah, I mean, it was weird. But I have had another sleep experience, a sleep paralysis experience when I was living in the demonic condo that was on Indian burial grounds. Anyways, this vampire thing, spirit being, came in through the window that I had left the window open. And this is why I do not sleep with the window open now. But like I left the window open and I was laying down, and this being came right up to my face when I was laying down. And it was like saying some evil stuff that it was going to do to my stepdaughter. And I got up out of my body. My soul literally got up out of my body. I pushed it into a corner. I did the sign of the cross because that's what I believed in at that time. And it bounced It literally went right back out the window and bounced. And then it never came back. But that was my first time with sleep paralysis. And I've had it a couple of times. And usually it's like I'm in between the sleep and waking state and I get stuck. And then I'm listening to entities talk or I'm hearing what they're saying or whatever. But like, yeah, it's always kind of a weird space to be in. But I do think that a lot of sleep paralysis stuff is probably negative. The majority of it. In fact, I'm probably one of the only people, unless there's other people out there that come forward and say that they've had sleep paralysis that's not been negative. But if, at any rate, when it's happening, you're always thinking it's negative. Like when I had that voodoo experience, I was thinking it was negative because there was the paralysis part. I was feeling myself as a voodoo doll, just really weird. But then when I woke up and I asked, and my spirit guides were like, no, chill, don't be so quick to being afraid of everything. They're like, you act like a scared little mouse sometimes, and you're really a cat. That's what my spirit guide said. And I'm cool with that. I love cats. I love dogs too. I love animals. I love horses the most. Oh my gosh. If I could be any animal, I would be a horse. I would be like a unicorn or a Pegasus or a dragon. But either one of those. So you're getting your wishes fulfilled. These beings are going to make sure that something goes in your favor. And all of this stuff that was being done against you, it's all coming to the light. But it's weird because it's all coming to the light at once, which means you could become aware of like these are multidimensional beings. You could become aware of multidimensional issues with a certain person. Maybe this is like somebody from a past life that obviously didn't learn their lesson with you in the past life, so they felt like they would come into this one and then do whatever this is again. Page of Wands. And like I was saying, this person's got children to take care of. They need to mind their own business is what they need to do. And I don't even think there's anything that this person and these people, a person that this people that this the people that this person recruited, I don't think there's anything that they can do to like make this group consciousness favor them. They're they're usually in the spiritual realm. If a mistake is made, somebody can usually right it by like making a sacrifice. And this is just in other traditions. I don't condone sacrifice, but making a sacrifice or whatever else, giving an offering, that type of thing. Usually it could be rectified or sometimes reversed. I'm not getting either of those things with this situation. So that's kind of scary to me because I don't know what the other outcomes are. If you can't like rectify it and be like, oh, I made a oopsies and made a mistake. These beings do not care about free will. They don't care about so like to say that, yeah, they don't care about free will. Absolutely not. They really don't care about anything that this person is going to say. Like which means that they're kind of doomed from the beginning, which is sad. They should have never done this. Queen of Pentacles, because you're meant to be somebody who helps other people. This is why the resources are supposed to be going to you. If they're not going to you, then something very wrong is happening. So there's a lot of different people that these beings are going to come after and twist their desires into something that's really, really bad. Okay. And they're going to help you achieve what you want. Because from their perspective, they have an all-seeing eye. This is what they're saying. From their perspective, they can see more than I can see, than you can see, and then other people who are operating from the third dimension as a person can see, right? Like they're part of the higher dimensions in a conscious, active way. When we go to sleep, we become part of the higher dimension. We go into our multidimensional self, but we don't always retain the information that we encounter, the experiences that we encounter in the dream state. You may come across these beings in a dream because now they're like all about being all up in your energy and protecting you. And they are doing it in a way to where you're not going to be afraid of them. Like you're seeing movement around you. You could be seeing like little balls of energy and stuff like that, but all of that is your protection. So literally, these beings are cloaking themselves, making themselves invisible. They are the type of being that you will not see them if they're coming for you, that you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that until they've already done whatever they came to do. That's what I'm getting from them. So they are actually very scary. The Emperor. Well, there's nothing that you need to fear. And then also another thing that they're saying is that they're not going to allow, and you can be a 20-year-old emperor, so forget the fact that this person looked old, but the Emperor is the highest ranking masculine card in the deck. And remember, you guys, we all have feminine and masculine energies within us. We just all don't have feminine, divine feminine, like that, the feminine, masculine energies activated. But we can activate it through Kundalini, through spiritual awakening, that type of thing. So look, this is what they're saying. They're like, you're in the energy of being an emperor. You're mastering something. You're getting ready to lead other people. These beings are not going to allow your life to pass by and you to suffer in vain. Like, they don't like that. They like when things make sense, first of all, is what they're saying. They like when things make sense, and they also like when things are aligning with like cosmic law, universal law, and justice and stuff. So yeah, they consider you to be like a relative to them. Okay, like a cousin. They consider you to be like a cousin, even though they're a whole different species. So they're saying that there's some of you genetically, and me too, that is what they are within us as a human, and then vice versa. So that there is a connection here. And I think that it's an important connection because it's got a whole group of beings literally getting ready. They're like they boost each other up. Let's just say that. They're all part of this one conscious collective, but they are like literally boosting each other up to go handle this situation of this person. And I feel like, at this point, you've already cried the tears. Like, this is why, when people, there's some type of saying that's like, if you make somebody cry, you're going to end up paying for that, right? And people don't take it seriously. And then they realize, like, wait a minute, now I'm getting bad karma. Why? And like I was saying, this person is not understanding that what's happening starting now and what's going to be happening, they're not going to understand why. And then there's no human psychic that they can go to, that's going to be able to give them the answer. These are like Assassin's Creed spy-like beings, okay? Like, if they don't want to be noticed or seen, they're not going to be. Let's just say that. That's why I was really surprised that they came forward and even offered any type of, I was like, oh, hey, what's up? Page of Swords. Like I said, any person that they go to try to get to look into what's happening to them, they're not going to be able to see this. But the moment that these beings want this person to see what's going on is going to be in the future, and they're going to be able to see then. The Hierophant is what just flew out. There could be a whole spiritual group that's watching, or a religion that's going to be like, just shocked, just so shocked that you are not, they like literally, they don't get a spiritual pass, and they also don't get a yes from the universe or from any being to attack you. So that's good to know, but it took a lot to get these beings here, and now that they're here, they're not going to leave. What the hell? And because they're here on a karmic balance, trying to make things right, they can't be exorcised out of anything. Like, it's just like, literally, justice just has to play its course. You know what I mean? Oh, gosh, my nose. Sorry, you guys. In this situation, justice is just going to have to play its course. take its course. And whoever involved this Hierophant group has got a whole, and these beings don't care. They're like, we don't care what religion people are. These beings are like, no nonsense. They're like, you don't get a pass because you're immigrant, a person of a religion, a person of politics, a person of any type of any category, right? Like, you don't get a pass because of that. Karmic law is karmic law. And these people were ordering like supernatural hits on you, like literally trying to Assassin Creed you. If you don't know about Assassin's Creed is a game that's about becoming an assassin, and it's very, very fun. Yeah, Five of Cups. This Hierophant group is grieving. They're experiencing a loss. Yes, people don't realize that they're really a part of the system that's programmed from childhood, and this could be a false system. All they can do is hope for a better future, but they really need to like literally they need to go to all the witches and warlocks that they were paying, and they need to pay them more money to undo whatever they did. Let's just say that, because not only the person that paid for whatever this is going to suffer, but the people that did the work are going to suffer. So it just needs to be undone. And like, for some reason, I'm picking up that because the effects of whatever they were doing have already affected you and you've overcome it, it can't just be undone. Once it's like, it's the same premise as, like, let's say that you cut somebody's hair, right? You shave their head. You can't just undo that. Like, once you've shaved their head, you've shaved their head, you have to let their hair grow back, right? This person, sometimes when it comes to messing things up in the spiritual realm, there can be reparations that are made, all right, that a human can do. In this case, there's nothing that's going to appease these beings, okay? There's nothing that's going to be good enough to appease these beings. Like, judgment has been called, and these beings have come up out of the earth, and they're like, hey, what's happening? Why is the collective lamenting and crying out in pain and going through this and that? And why is this world not doing right by them? That's what these beings are. They're just very no nonsense. There's no nonsense about them. They're smarter than humans. 10 of Swords, which is about, oh, this person playing the victim just because they're up under justice. They're up under justice. They're up under justice and judgment. Just because that's happening right now doesn't mean that this person was ever a victim. In fact, they tried to victimize you, and now they want to play victim. Well, if they want to play victim, they can, because they are going to be victimized by these beings. These beings, like I said, do not care. They don't care about free will. They don't care about people's personal sovereignness. Literally, they don't. Three of Cups. This looks to me like you're going to have a very good harvest coming in. A lot of abundance, marked by fun, successful, happy, good relationships. And anybody that was against you, that was denying you, that was lying on you, that was trying to make trying to make you out to be something that you're not. Eight of Swords, excuse me. The 10 of Swords to the 8 of Swords. Yeah, these people are being spiritually imprisoned. They may even go to physical prison if they're not careful. This person still wants revenge, and like, there was never even a reason to get revenge in the first place, which is crazy to me. They're being told no. This whole Hierophant group is being told absolutely not. Like, they're like, it's one thing if you do this type of stuff to your own people, but you will not do it to mine. That's what these beings are saying. So they're considering you their people. And this is why you should just treat, you don't know how God is using anybody, so just treat people the way that you would want them to treat you, which hopefully would be with kindness. I feel like you guys understand that, and that's what you do. You know, why Jesus didn't have a bunch of karma to deal with. Yes, he had problems. He had the Pharisees, who were good for nothing people. Okay, he had a whole lot of problems, but God still rerouted his destiny to the highest and best good of all, right? And that's what God is going to do every time. And I'm talking about real God source. The thing that these beings are connected to is what I consider to be real source. What they're saying is that the humans that are worshiping, what they're connecting with is not. It's a completely different being, and these beings know about that being, and they don't communicate with it because they know that it lies. So, yeah. And they're really neutral to humans, but they are neutral to all other humans that are not their people, right? The ones that they have seeds in. Eight of Wands. And they're already getting geared up and they're prepared because these people are going to make another trip to the crossroads. They're going to do the same exact thing that they've been doing that's getting them caught up and put up under judgment. They're going to go right back to the crossroads, make another offering, do something stupid, and try to make amends, but they don't have anything authentic within them. And they also, in the same breath, are like, is there still a possibility that we can get this person taken out? And it's like, no, you can't have somebody removed. I really feel like this person has been completely spoiled to the utmost max, and they are a little tyrant, like a little Joffrey from Game of Thrones running around. They need to be stopped. That's what I feel about them. But they're not a child. They're like an adult, but they're acting like that. They're acting like freaking Joffrey from Game of Thrones. So yeah, there's obviously a problem with that. And this person's parents fear their own kid. Like, that's crazy. This is an adult we're talking about that's got their parents afraid of them. Two of Pentacles. You may receive something in the mail. You could receive a message from spirit, something in the mail, something through your email. Making something right. I feel like it's about time for you to be approved of something. Yeah, it's about time for your wishes to come true. Oh, look, Archangel Michael just flew out. So you have Archangel Michael that's here to defend you with the Temperance card. And then you have the Seven of Wands, which also flew out with Archangel Michael, which is defense. Because these people are acting like they're going to compete with you, with the world for your time, energy, and resources. No, they're not. So from these beings' perspective, they're like, we've been sent by God. Like the higher power thing that runs through all of us activated us and brought us here. That's how these beings feel. And so they're not going to leave until the situation is not only rectified, but until you've got it so much down that these people would never ever think again. And any person in the future that even attempts to do it, you're already going to have defenses up against it. This message that you receive could be one that comes through your abilities. It could be one that you're like have to decode. It could come through a dream as well. So I would just be paying attention. Ace of Pentacles. These beings are talking about how beautiful you guys are, how physically beautiful and attractive and lovely. And look, this Ace of Pentacles is not going anywhere. It's here for you. The fact that people feel the need to make you defend the resources that come from God, that is Looney Tunes right there. Who is going to be trying to compete with what God can do? Like, that's crazy. You deserve to be paid for your hard work. Just like anybody else that works deserves to be paid. You also deserve to be paid. Why do these people think that that is not the case? That you should just be their slave? Like, come on with that. That's so disgusting. This person is about to see, like, everything that they didn't want to happen for you is about to happen. and it's all happening within the realms of how you want it to, is what is about to happen. And then this person, everything that they didn't want you to have, you're about to have. So whatever it is, things are about to you're about to get more busy. Things are about to blow up for you in a good way. Glow up, same thing, in a positive way. Two of Wands, because you're working on creating this world to be a better place, and that's what the work that you do does. And this is why God is rewarding it. And this could be a new business idea that you have as well, or some type of therapy you want to offer, or something like that. Or could be even a platform you want to create. Whatever this is, it's going to be successful. You just have to devote your energy and time to it. This is who's actually doing this to you. You've got a Queen of Wands that's trying to sacrifice you. And it's because this Queen of Wands already is a Nine of Pentacles. They've had their life gifted to them. Like, maybe they've had to have kids to get the support that they have, but they're literally not having to work or pay for anything in their life. So I consider their life to be really easy. Not only that, they're fully capable of doing multiple jobs. Okay, so this is like somebody that's fully capable of running a business, of actually working, and they just don't. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're stable and self-sufficient. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You're not out here borrowing from your parents every other day. What is wrong with this person? They're probably going to say, oh, it's because I have a child that I need to be greedy and self-centered and needy and evil and mean. No, it's not. No, it's not. Responsibilities don't create cruelty. Okay, they just create accountability. We can either take accountability or not. This person having a child has nothing to do with why they are getting loads of people to try to attack you. All right, enough is enough. Judgment needed to be called. It absolutely had to be called. Okay, like these beings are like, literally, we do not belong in this dimension. We were brought here by this source to deal with this issue. Justice. Because this Queen of Wands was manipulating some type of energy with a judge, doing some type of sacrificial work so that you would not receive something. This could be land, it could be property, whatever they were doing. This is over, and this person is in serious trouble. Just one of these beings could turn this person's entire life completely upside down. And there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of them. So this is why I'm like tripped out by it. And this is all about you not getting wish fulfillment. I'm sorry, but everybody who works deserves to have a roof over their head, food in their mouth, clothes on their body, and all of that. And I don't care what this person's saying. Shut up, shut up, shut up. That's literally what this stupid person continues to just do, to tell you to shut up and then just accept continual abuse that never ends. Make it make sense. This Queen of Wands wants to live off of you. She's done enough curses to influence people in your life to not give to you and to treat you poorly. And now that energy needs to go back to where it came from. 10 of Cups, because your peace and contentment is here. Part of your happily ever after is you getting justice for all of this injustice that's been done. For me, I get tired of fighting the witchcraft. To the point where I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm literally not doing it. I'm not going to fight people's witchcraft anymore. I'm over it. I'm going to allow the divine to handle it and not even be a part of that. And just go within and create more peace within myself. That's literally what I'm going to do. Nobody's ever going to convince me to go fight a war against somebody. That is crazy Looney Tunes, okay? And I know that there are problems in the world, but you know what? I'm going to let the people that are prepared to deal with that type of stuff, that have the attention span, deal with that. I don't care about that type of stuff. I just want to live my life in peace. I feel like you're the same. You want to be successful, but not to the point where you like this is not like this other person is acting like you are in like Elon Musk's position. Like they don't, this person that comes from having everything gifted to them and having the government and everything else pay for all their shit, they don't like understand what it is to like own something, like to have something to be responsible. They don't understand. Like they could never understand you, and they don't understand peace. Because again, they're basing everything solely on the way that it looks externally, not on the internal world. And the internal world is what creates the external world. So this person is just based solely upon like what they want to see and not see. And like literally, this person has tried to make their opinion public opinion. And their opinion is not everybody believes the same thing about you. Like I'm sure that when these people come across you in real life, if they were to come across you or meet you in real life, that literally they would never they would like never talk to this other person again, because they would see that this person was lying. It's only because you got people that blindly follow others on a hate train, on all of that. Stupid people. That's dumb, by the way. This King of Swords, whoever this judge is, I feel like they are attached to a lot of karma. They're also going to be getting their butt kicked because they listen to this stupid Queen of Wands, or they just like people that this person's somebody that's getting caught in the crossfire, to be quite honest. Maybe they don't help other people. Maybe they're a really shit person. They're a really shit judge, but they're getting caught in the crossfire here. So maybe they didn't directly do something to you, but they were definitely a part of trying to stop and block something for you. So yeah, I would consider that an attack. Well, and then like I was saying at the beginning, that by the time the karma hits them, they're going to be, not realizing that, oh, I made a mistake with this person on this situation. I should have given the inheritance that was due to this person. I should have given it to him. They're not going to realize that till it's too late. And then once it's too late, it's too late. Like I said, once the tears have come out of your eyes, that can't be like undone. It's the same premise as once you shave somebody's head, you can't just be like, oh, oops, let's reverse that. Unless you've got some type of time machine, okay? And none of us have that. So it's not possible. This is why thought needs to be put into things that we do and we say. And these people wanted to separate you from your sense of self. They wanted you to be confused. They wanted you to be in debt. They wanted you to be ugly, fat, lazy. They wanted you to never fall in love, and they wanted justice to be so far away from you that you would never, ever even think to ask for justice because you were brought so low. That's what these people wanted. And look what's happening to them. Now they're being utterly destroyed. And then there is no resurrection day for these people. This is basically over. This whole battle with you is over. And you're getting spiritual enlightenment, happiness, and peace, and justice. And God's going to make sure that money comes into you and that you're provided for no matter what these stupid people do. And these beings that are now been dispatched, once they're dispatched, they're dispatched. These beings are not like angels. This is what I'm saying. They're not angels. They're not, maybe they're a type of jinn, but they're definitely not angels. They do not care about this person's free will. This person abused their free will. Both of these people did. They freely chose to come after you and to block things in your life and to try to stop you and to try to cause you hurt and harm. These beings don't care. Like that's, to me, is terrifying. Two of Swords. They endlessly were trying to block you. And now these people are going to be blocked. And these beings don't even care if they figure out why they're getting karma, why they're being blocked. They don't even care about that. Like they don't care if these people learn their lesson or not. That these beings are coming in to remove what was done, what was put on you, what was said about you, what was spreaded around about you. Anybody that participated in it is caught in the crossfire. This is why you have to be careful who you follow, who you listen to, if you have somebody that's egging you on to join them and gang stalk somebody else or harass somebody else, you need to stop, like literally, and ask yourself, why does this person feel the need to recruit me to become nasty and evil and violent towards another person? Like that's what the best advice is, to just not get yourself in this situation. Like literally, that's what the best advice is, to not get yourself stuck here. Because these beings don't think it's funny. Not at all. Not at all. And whatever other spiritual beings were attached to this Queen of Wands witch, they're running. They're running away. They're abandoning ship when it comes to all this stuff that was done. And like I said, once it's been done, you can't undo it. This person is literally sitting around trying to do, let me see if I can do an undo spell. You can, like, once you shave somebody's head, their head is shaved. You can't undo that unless you've got a time machine, and this person is never going to be smart enough to create one of those. So they're stuck. They're stuck with these energies after them. And I'm not going to call them demonic because they're not demons. They're not. But this person's got, the devil is blocking them in some type of way. And it looks like to me that you've cut this person off for your own protection, because God showed you that this person was not good for you, and you were unaware of them, but now that you're aware, this person was unaware of you the entire time. They thought that there was never going to be a consequence, that they could just run around stomping on whoever they wanted whenever they got ready. They thought that they could block justice from coming into your life, not knowing that your higher self is a being of justice. Like, how stupid is that? This person pretended like they knew you on a higher self God level, that they knew your God self. And maybe they did, but they obviously didn't know anything accurate, because you always win. Like, this is what can be seen in your soul records, is that you always win. That's literally what can be seen about you. That's why these beings are like, excuse me, why are you denying somebody who is a righteous person, who could be needing a little bit of help here and there? Why are you denying that? This person that's a civil servant to the general public, who's helping people, who's doing this, who's doing that, who's raising a family, who's doing the right thing, etc., etc. These beings are like, why? Why would you do this to somebody like this? Like, they from their perspective, they're like, why wouldn't you target an enemy? Why would you target somebody that's helping humanity? Like, for what reason? And then the thing is that they don't care what the reason is, because this person didn't care about your life and about your livelihood and about your future. They didn't care about you at all. In fact, they hated you so much that they took it upon themselves to try to stop you, and they didn't realize that your backing, is something that's supernatural. It's otherworldly, multidimensional. It's not just this realm. It goes into other realms. And so they never thought that you were loved, and that was their mistake. Okay? The Lovers. What did I just say? They did not think that you were ever loved, ever, for some reason. That's crazy. You guys could be literally getting ready to start a new relationship. Also, this person was like, let's curse their love life. Let's curse their finances. Let's curse their home. Let's curse this. Let's do this. Let's do that. They came up with so many ideas, and these energies are like, okay, let's do every single thing that this person was doing to them, to the collective. We're just going to do it back to this person. So now this person is like not even aware that what they're going through, they could have completely avoided just by letting you be and being a respectful person and not creating a bunch of unnecessary spiritual warfare against somebody. Nine of Swords. And this person's unaware that the reason they can't get out of bed, that they can't recover, that they don't have a happily ever after is because they have chosen to do wrong by mostly everyone. Anybody involved in this is going to lose everything. Or I should say everyone involved in it. Everybody that got on the bandwagon, that agreed with what this person said, that put their energy into the honeypot, any of these people that engaged with this Queen of Wands, all of them, even if they're an innocent bystander, they're still going to get whipping from these creatures. They're still going to have their lives turned completely topsy-turvy, upside down. And so this is why we just don't make rash decisions, not making rash decisions, not attacking people that we do not know, not making assumptions about people, not judging people, okay? Thinking that we're going to play God in their life and create destruction or death or whatever. Like, no, that needs to stop, okay? No one has the authority to do that to another human being. No one does. The only people that have the authority to do anything when it comes to like putting people away is like the police, but they're still subjected to karma. They have to go through stuff. Their lives can be, there's not anybody on this planet that their life is protected to the point where these beings can't turn it upside down 100%. Okay. And these beings were sent by a higher power, like I was saying. So you could have prayed something that you did, and now everything that these people were doing is getting uncovered, and they're going to have to reverse something or find a way to rectify it. I mean, that's the only way. They're still going to go through karma, though. They don't get a free pass. The star. They were trying to steal or oppress your star. They don't get a free pass with any of that. I also get that your star ability gives you enough talent and you have enough ambition and you have enough drive to where you're going to be very, very successful. There's nothing that this person or these people can do about that. If they didn't want to contribute to your success and they tried to contribute to your downfall, then, you know, the works that you create are going to counteract anything that these people have ever said, and people are going to start coming to their senses, and the ones that don't will be schooled by the universe. Six of Cups. These people could be grieving because they know that now they have to offer something to the devil because they weren't able to get you. Something like that. And this is how stupid this situation is, because they don't even see what's coming after them. That's crazy. To waste all of your energy and time on somebody else and not even look to see what's coming for you, that's Looney Tunes crazy. Knight of Wands. These people do not know you like that. They don't know you like that. Let's get the likes up, you guys, please, and thank you. Thank you so much, Fashionista. Yeah, if you guys need and your personal questions answered, send me a $20 super chat with your question, and I will pause the collective reading and I will answer your question. But I would do it at the beginning of the reading. So look, it looks like you've got this star ability that you're going to still use to connect with people. You're still going to be in the right places at the right time. As far as destroying your fortune, these people don't have that type of power. They also can't say no because you're worthy of receiving some type of restitution or something like that. And all of these doors that were being closed in your face were not supposed to be closed. I feel like that was a huge mistake made by these people that needs to be changed. And if they don't change that, God is going to open another door in your life. Like literally. Tower, the tower. So these people have abused their power to the utmost max. Maybe spirit was using you to draw these power abusing peoples out into the eyesight of these creatures. I don't mean to call them creatures, but they're beings. Like they're kind of like humans in the sense that they're all individual looking, but they're a different species. Okay. So they're a type of jinn. I don't know. They're not blue. They're not red. They look like regular people. But their eyes are bigger. Their eyes are significantly bigger. And some of them have horns. But they're not demons. And they don't have wings. So, yeah. It just feels to me like this is time that these people are in the tower. I hope that they figure out what they did wrong so that they don't make any more mistakes, but everybody was so gung-ho to gang up on you and beat up on you and target you and stuff, and they, these people that had so much like energy towards your destruction. I mean, there's always going to be people. Like I was talking to my doctor today and he was talking about how, there's people that just do a news broadcast, like they're just news anchor. And they have people in their comments that are trolling, hating, saying the meanest, most worst things to these people. And it's like, why are people doing that? Like, what is that about? Why are people doing that? Why do they think that just because you have the freedom of speech means that you can assault somebody with your tongue? Like, that's crazy. Verbally assault them. That's not okay. Okay, what is this tower going to lead to? 5 of Pentacles. This tower is going to lead these people to being casted away. It really is. And you got an Ace of Cups love over here. You've definitely got somebody that was in the military that ganged up with these people if they're a part of their group. These people made the huge mistake of thinking that all you are is like a calm, sweet, kind person. They messed up. And they're going to have to walk away, dissatisfied with the 8 of Cups. They're really going to have to walk away. I don't know if they're going to at this moment, but they're going to in the future, I get. Yeah, this person is going, like, ooh, all these people are about to be, they're about to be in trouble. This was like some type of spiritual setup in the higher realms. That's why these beings have come out. 5 of Wands for competition, to compete with you. Compete with you for what? Literally. What are they talking about? What compete for what? Do these people even understand? Like they've got bad luck now. They're bad luck. They're literally bad luck. We don't want them around us. Spirits, beings, whatever. We don't want these people around us. Okay? We got a problem with that. 4 of Cups. Because you're dealing with people who are immature, bored, depressed, and they're going to be self-absorbed, thinking that their life is so, the grass is always greener on the other side till you get to the other side and then you realize it's astroturf and you've been duped. This is what I'm saying. It's like these people are not grounded. They need to connect to the earth a little bit more, be a little bit more grounded about their desires and stop being so self-absorbed and self-centered. and focused only on material possessions and cheating somebody out of their livelihood. That's too many cards at once, Spirit. They need to be more, they need to be like just better people. This situation that they're about to go through, sitting there being so dissatisfied about you getting all of your wishes granted, that's literally what I'm getting. They're going to have to, they can sit there. And I'm hearing someone in my head literally cry like a little baby. Somebody said baby in the chat. I'm hearing somebody crying like a baby about it, about you getting a wish granted, about you not being turned into a walrus or whatever ridiculous stuff they were asking. Like, seriously. Yeah, they're like, literally, this person is like whining and crying and complaining in the spirit that you're being redeemed and vindicated. That's sad. And they're like, well, why can't I do like, really? They can't do what you do, be who you are, because they're not equipped to. And they would never want to, like, look at what they've already done to your life. This person is like, literally, they need to apologize. I can tell that these people were raised by people who are narcissistic. Three of Wands. And you're over here looking to the future, not even caring. You're like, I'm going to just get past whatever this is. Whatever this is that, you know, these people are on. I'm going to get past it. I'll move on and I'll be okay. All of these attempts to take my life from me didn't actually take my life from me. So I'll be okay. This is what you need to be telling yourself, because this is the truth. You have survived something that you were never supposed to survive. You were supposed to be in poverty. You're supposed to be not healthy. You were supposed to be insane, lost your mind, pulling your hair out, losing your teeth, all this weird witchcraft shit. Like, I'm serious. What these people were doing is what they're about to go through. Even though you weren't even getting hit with this stuff, and this is why we cannot just decide to attack somebody without investigating who they are. And this person was like, oh, I know who they are. I'm going to attack. Could be with their mouth that they were attacking. Whatever they were attacking with is going to be, blocked. Let's just say that. No weapon formed against us shall prosper, whether it's somebody's tongue or an actual gun. No weapon that's formed will ever prosper. Yes, they courted war. That's exactly it. Ace of Wands. And you're getting ready to go in a new direction, and these people are like, they can't go without me. They can't move on and live their life and be happy without me. If I'm not in their life, like, this is how narcissistic they are. If I'm not in their life, they don't deserve to live. Like, what? What did you just say? This is what these people are thinking. This is their argument, that you don't deserve to live a life without them. What? That is mental. All right, is there anything else that we need to know? This person did not ever believe that you had abilities. They thought you were stupid. They thought you were nobody. They thought that there was nothing special about you, that there was nothing likable about you. This is what this person, they made an assumption based upon their opinion, which was a stupid opinion. This is why you just do right by others. High Priestess. You guys have abilities, and this person didn't believe that you did. They thought you were faking it, making it up, or whatever. Stupid people. They had you in their life for a season, and now that they've been seasoned out, they've been extracted, they're like, well, why are we extracted? Why didn't this spell work? Because it's not a part of God's bigger picture for this person. All it did was upset these beings that can actually do things to people. And now we have to deal with that. So it's like, you know, Seven of Pentacles, the tables are turning in your favor. These people, they've got to move on. They were spent too much time up under the moon, arguing and bitching and complaining and moaning about you having gifts and abilities that they'll never have. Okay? They're not in a position to argue about your blessings. And that's why they're being shut down. These spirits that were helping this person are literally being rounded up. They're being extracted out of your energy and they're being put in prison. Like whatever type of spiritual prison exists, these beings are being taken out. They're like not being unalived, but they're being taken by these other beings that are protecting you. So that's what I'm feeling, like a full extraction. It feels, you know, like there's going to be some type of disclosure day with this, where was it? Two of Pentacles energy, a disclosure about you type thing. But yeah, it's going to be some type of really big spiritual psychic event that ends up creating justice for you. And then your story is going to be known by people. Is there anything else that we need to know before we go? Trust in yourself. Know that where you're going is a path. You have a unique path that not everybody can go down. So you may lead people, you may have people in your life for a season. And then when you season out because you continue to move forward like you should, and I'm proud of you. Okay, good job. But when you continue to move forward, these people who have been seasoned out, eclipsed out, I want to say seasoned and eclipsed out, like they had a time in your life, a season, and they were supposed to learn something from you this lifetime. These people chose to do what they did every other lifetime, and they chose not to learn the lesson that they needed to learn this lifetime. This is why it's causing such a big karmic response, and why these jinn beings, a whole society of them, are coming up, you know, being livid about everything. So hopefully they calm down, but I feel like they're all working together to bring these people whatever they're going to bring them. Something there to where they're going to have a problem and they can't obsess on you. That's like literally, yes, being not fortunate. You know what I mean? Like unfortunate. King of Pentacles. All these people that think that they're going to hold money over your head are going to be doing it to these people. Because the thing is like, some people are like, oh, God is a broke God. All of the saints were poor. Jesus was poor. No, like we need to change our definition on what wealth and riches are. First of all, beauty is wealth. Happiness is wealth. Love is wealth. Those are all things you can't buy. So money is not the answer. And you know that. And so when people come dangling it over your head, you know, and this is why I just got an email about sponsors, and I'm just like, God, if it's not from you, then I don't even want to take part in it. You know what I mean? It's not of you. If it doesn't have you in it, then I don't want it. Point blank, period. And the version of God, like love, joy, peace, compassion, mercy, that I recognize. I'm never going to ever think that God is a vengeful, wrathful, jealous. That sounds like the devil. I'm like, what? No, it sounds like the devil. We don't have to do anything. Karma does the job. And it's just literally, I don't believe in, oh, you send it out, it comes back as 3 times worse. These witches and warlocks believe that. And so that's the experience that they'll have. I just believe what you do to another person will happen to you. And you may think you can control how you do it to somebody else, but you don't control when it's done to you, how it's done to you, and all of that. This is basically about your work. They don't like that. They don't like what your work does. They don't like the fact that you have something for work, and they don't like that it's part of your destiny, this work that you do, that you use your abilities to do something for your own destiny. Oh, well. These people need to take a break. Just take several seats, because the best is yet to come for you. For these people, This was all an obsession about what you do for work. Somebody not being able to do it. It's crazy. And then what's even weirder is the fact that I think that this Queen of Wands was using witchcraft on the other people to get them to turn on you, because it seems to me like they were under the influence of something. But these beings don't care about any of that. They're going to come in and do whatever they need to do to make sure that things... I'm literally seeing like a changing of timelines or something. You may go to sleep and wake up in a new universe with like... And that's happened to me before, by the way, at least 3 or 4 times, where I have gone to sleep or a day has ended, and then, yeah, I've gone into a completely new universe. That's actually happened. So those like glitches in the matrix, I feel like you're going to experience some type of like glitch or some type of like timeline shift or switching to a parallel reality, one where things didn't go the way that they had gone. Because like I said, these beings are going to rectify it, but they can't uncry every tear that you cried. You still live that experience with these people being this way towards you, right? It's just the same thing as like we can give you vitamins and help you grow your hair, but once the hair is shaved, like we can't undo that. But there can be a universe where things do work out for you, you know what I mean? And the one that you were in was being manipulated by this witch and the people she was associated with. So that's over now. And now that it's like these beings are being hyper vigilant to make sure that you are protected, because this person was trying to sacrifice you to the devil. Like literally. And they don't have the authority to do that. So be thankful that God is like all loving and all knowing and there for you. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Because if God wasn't within you, this whatever they tried to sacrifice you to would have tried to come for you. But I feel like whatever they made so many mistakes, yo. It's like at some point, stop following blind emotions and like stop doing that, following other people and what they say and stuff like that, especially if they're attacking somebody. I mean, if you guys are playing video games, follow your friends, whatever, like, but don't, if somebody is making an effort to do witchcraft on someone else, they want you to gang stalk them, watch them, monitor them, follow them, any weird shit. Do not do it, because you don't know what you're doing. Not really. That's why Jesus was like, forgive them, God, like forgive them, beings of wrath and stuff like that, because they don't know what they're doing. And these people didn't. So there. I mean, they did to some extent, but they've never been through anything they put you through, but they're about to go through it now. So we'll probably get an update on the situation. So I'm going to talk about the books that are tagged in the products and linked in the description box below, just very briefly. So The Truth of God is a book that will help you develop your spirituality. It is called The Truth of God, Advanced Intuitive Living Workbook, written by Michael STEADMAN. So I read the beginning of the book at the beginning of this reading. I'm going to just kind of open it and see to where we fall, where it falls. All right, it says focus on what brings you joy and gratitude. So I'm going to read this part, then I'm going to talk about the techniques from this book that I use every single day. So for those of you that are leaving the reading because you already know about this, I love you so much. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed. All of that is so important. Okay, so this is a great way to start any form of inner communication. It says focus on what brings you joy and gratitude in the morning or throughout the day. By using the tool that we discussed earlier, closing your eyes and thinking of something that brings you joy or gratitude. Something that just by the mere thought of it starts a smile forming on your face. Do you guys have something like that? I do. I've got quite a few things that make me feel good. Okay, that's what we're focusing on. So it says we create a connection with source energy, God. Stay with that thought. Be aware of how good it feels. If another subject comes to the mind that feels better, then go with it. Stay focused on things that bring you those feelings. Some people I have spoken with have a hard time finding the positive tool that just discussed. So like if you have to, and that's okay, but if you have to search for some things that make you happy, first of all, if you've got children, think about your kids. Your kids bring so much joy and gratitude and happiness. If you've got a pet, think about your pet. If you've got a friend, think about your friend. If you've got a husband, a wife, a lover, think about God. Think about how grateful you are for God. You want to focus on something that truly brings you happiness, okay? Not what you think should bring you happiness, but what actually does bring you happiness. It could be painting, singing, dancing, expressing yourself. So it says, first, I want you to think of your hand. You probably wouldn't want to be without it. If you really think about it, you will feel gratitude, unconditional love, and joy for it. Get there, feel those feelings. This is in line with what I have been discussing, but there is one thing that I would change now that you understand this premise. Because you can hold your hand out in front of you, you might consider it outside of you. You have probably heard the phrase, the temple of God is within you. With that mind, I would have you change your focus from the hand to your heart. What would you do without your heart? It is always pumping the life fluid through you without you even having to think about it. You will feel gratitude, unconditional love, and joy once again. Oh my gosh, thank you, heart, for continuing to beat, for continuing to pump the life fluid called blood through my body. Thank you, heart. So you will feel gratitude, unconditional love, and joy once again. You have now focused within on something you can't see, even though it is a tangible object. Placing yourself in the stream of divine energy, love, joy, and peace flowing from God, you at all times feeding all of creation. You can think of your heart that way. Use this as your meditation tool or mantra. Every time the mind tries to pull you aside with this thought or that thought, start the laundry, fix lunch, or whatever applies to your life, just bring up the image of the heart and the feelings described. After a while, the mind will give up and quiet down. Then the consciousness will expand. These processes go hand in hand. The mind quiets down and the consciousness expands. Also, once the mind quiets, then you will find that the image of the heart will fade, and all that you'll be left with is the feeling of love, joy, and peace. The meditation will send more energy to the crown chakra, which is right here, and the third eye chakra, which provides for an even greater flow of divine energy and greater awareness. This also raises the frequency of the little self, which is your ego. The law of attraction states that whatever you place your focus upon will manifest. So if you have placed your attention on love, joy, and peace for 20 to 30 minutes, what do you think will be coming into your reality? But wait, have you ever heard that whatever you give unto God returns to you in multitude? So you won't just get 20 or 30 minutes of love, joy, and peace, but untold amounts. This is another reason I like to meditate in the morning. It sets up my whole day for a matching experience. It's not about creating what you're focusing on, person, place, or thing, but the feeling that it produces that is in line with your beingness. With nothing negative in focus, there is only our true essence, unconditional love, joy, and peace coming through to you. With it comes the things or experiences that you had been focusing on in your life that have brought you positive feelings. Okay, so the next technique I'm going to talk about from this book is the joy versus anger the God technique. The God technique helps you raise your frequency and your vibration out of your ego so that you're looking out through the eyes of your higher self, and then you'll be able to see things clearly. Like when I do the God technique, I go within, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm launching a rocket of my like if I were to be shooting an arrow, God is my higher self, God is the target. So I'm like launching an arrow, and then boom, once I get there, I feel total calmness, love, joy, and peace, and I feel complete clarity. And it's a big shift in my vibration and my consciousness. So I continue to do it because it is very, very powerful. And I go through stuff all of the time that I have to deal with. And so the God technique has changed my life. Being able to rise above things is a big deal for me. The second technique I'm going to talk about is the joy versus anger technique, which that technique is, oh my gosh, so amazing. You see me use it throughout the reading. And when I'm asking a question, a yes or no question, I'm using the joy versus anger technique. So joy versus anger technique works on clairsentience, which is your gut feeling. So you're never going to get an incorrect answer. And then it gives you the ability to ask because your higher self knows what's in your highest and best good and what's not. So it gives you an opportunity to ask yes and no questions and get an immediate response back so that you can be like, okay, yes, I'll go here. Yes, I'll pay for this. Yes, I'll do that. Right? You always want to ask. That way you can be divinely led. You're just checking in with yourself because you know what's best for you. Okay. And so the joy versus anger technique, oh, so important. Then the mind technique, and these are techniques that I use every single day. The mind technique, I have to use that continuously, but it clears the thoughts and beliefs. This book will teach you how to clear thoughts and beliefs that are not serving you. Also, there is a 1-to-10 ratio technique. If you need to get compatibility on something, sometimes you'll get a no when you ask a question and you're like, I really want to go to that concert. I really want to go to that group meeting. I really want to go to that whatever. And then you're not seeing why the answer is no. Then you can use a compatibility scale. This book will teach you how to get compatibility on any subject, 1 being the lowest compatible, 10 being the highest compatible. I have always used the compatibility scale in readings. I always do that to see the compatibility on certain subjects. So when you see the compatibility, then you can ask some more yes and no questions about why the compatibility is what it is so you can understand the situation. And then if you are somebody that struggles with thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you, okay, like I will have a repetitive thought or one that really doesn't feel good, that's just not in alignment. And then the preemptive strike in this book teaches you how to write out those storylines and then manually go through and clear them. And then I would suggest that after you clear the thoughts and beliefs and storylines, that you start to do affirmations that affirm what it is that you do want. Okay. So it's kind of like you're clearing the junk, you're taking the garbage out, and then you're cleaning the space, and then you're stating what you actually do want, which is not chaos, right? So this is the truth of God. It will change your life. It's changed mine. I've been using the techniques from it for 10 years. That is why I talk about it. And that's why I have it tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. The second book that I'm going to talk about is the book that I have written, and it is called Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, written by me, Astraea Love. And I wrote this book to teach those of you that want to learn how to read cards for yourself and for other people. I have this book, and I have the Quick and Easy Original Rider-Waite Tarot deck tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. So Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells has 23 tarot card spreads in it, based off of I've added one. So in the tarot deck there's 78 cards total. There's 22 of the major arcana cards. Let's do the sun. I think I did the sun the other day. Let's do, so the major arcana cards are like the sun, the moon, the world, the star. I don't want to do the tower. All right, we'll do the Hierophant. The High Priestess, the Magician, they're the face cards. That's your guys' favorites. So in this book, there's 22 tarot card spreads off of the major arcana cards. And then there is 22 tarot card spells. So you do the tarot card spread first, gives you the information. Then when you're doing the manifestation technique, I use the word spell very loosely because it's not like other spells. There's no way to even use it on anybody else. All right, so we're going to go to the Hierophant. So this book, inside of it, has an additional tarot card spread. I started off with a 14 zodiac tarot card spread where you shuffle the entire deck. You pull 2 cards for each zodiac position, and 1 card will represent your south node, where your ego's at. The other card represents your north node, where your destiny's at. And then the information on the cards and with what's in the book will help guide you towards your destiny. So the first tarot card spread and spell, and there's no wrong way to use this book. You can either go from the beginning to the end. I would suggest though that but the first tarot card spell is to connect with your destiny. So it puts you into your destiny right at the very beginning. But there's no wrong way to use this book. You can literally go to whatever tarot card spread that you're drawn to at the time and start there if you want. I would tell you guys though that I put a disclaimer in here. If you're going to read for other people, use the disclaimer because people need to know, especially if they're not like, oh, if they don't know tarot, then they need to be aware that it could trigger them. They could not get the answer that they want to hear. Something else could come forward that could bring something to the surface or put it in their face. So they need to know that about tarot, that tarot is not like oracle cards. Oracle cards are very soft and it's hard to like, it's just a different system. See, this is how the tarot works. This is what Vassago explained to me. While you're a human, you will experience every card in the deck at one point or another. That's how it maps human consciousness. And it maps the people around you and all of that. So, yeah. Okay. So I would definitely use use the disclaimer anytime you're going to read for somebody, because people go into tarot readings sometimes being completely naive and completely unaware. Okay. All right. That tarot can be the way that it is. And so we love the tarot because it is that way. It brings the truth out, but it can throw something in someone's face that they don't like. Then, when you get started, I would go ahead and use the prayer. I've created a prayer and Spirit helped me create this prayer so that you could pray for you and whoever you're reading for the best results. And then I put an initiation with Vassago. Vassago is a spirit guide to me. Now, he's an Ars Goetia spirit that King Solomon worked with. And he basically told King Solomon that King Solomon was not the king of the Messiah and king of the Jews, because King Solomon had a really big ego. He had like 3,000 wives, which is crazy. But his life was so interesting. So anyways, he was given a magical ring and he was summoning up spirits. He summoned up Vassago and classified Vassago as a spirit of divination. How Vassago has helped me is when I am looking, like, let's say that I'm doing a reading for someone and they want to know a specific thing. If I'm looking at the cards and I'm like looking for one thing, I could be missing something else. So he'll kind of be like, this, and this is also coming from, the information in this card. He just expands my awareness basically and helps me. And when I was getting readings from other people, he would be like, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. And he would also say like, he would make other comments like, this person's missing this, and this. And it's just because he's very wise and he has a lot of wisdom. So I put the initiation always at 1 hour and 52 minutes. It always does that like thing. Anyways, which is really weird. I'm going to clear that. It's like some freaking weird time loop shit that's going on. Okay. Yeah, we're going to definitely clear that. All right. So, but yeah, you don't have to use the initiation for the book to work. So we're going to go to the Hierophant and actually pull a card. The Hierophant is page 123. And you can use these tarot card spreads over and over again. And I do suggest that you get the quick and easy original Rider Waite, because if you learn the interpretations from these cards, you can go to any specialty deck, and when they give you an abstract picture that has nothing to do with what the card will actually mean, then you have the original. So when people ask their personal questions, I keep this out, because if I pull a card from another deck and it doesn't represent what it's supposed to, then I have to reference the regular, like the original. I didn't say the regular, but the original. Okay, so, and tarot cards are relatively new. As like crystals are much older, first of all. Dowsing, pendulums, all that stuff is ancient. Okay, so all of the things that people are saying is new age is actually like ancient. It's like Atlantis age, only they had greater technology then. But so it's old age, but they're calling it new age. I don't get why, because it's the stuff from the old age being practiced. It's just still being practiced. I don't know. I don't know what is up with that. Maybe it's because more people are becoming aware. So anyways, there's 78 cards in the tarot deck total. 22 of them are major arcana cards. The rest of the deck is the rest of the cards, right? So for every tarot card, there's going to be 3 different ways that you can read it right off the bat. There's going to be a number association. The Hierophant is the number 5. There's going to be a yes, maybe, cautious answer. And this says cautious, but yes. And then the zodiac is Taurus. Okay, so the Hierophant is well suited for a career in education, medicine, shamanism, spirituality, and religious leaders. Now that I think of it, a Hierophant could possibly be a doctor as well. Well, no, doctors don't have groups associated with them, so never mind. Not a doctor. But I would think of like a doctor as being somebody that would be very knowledgeable, a position of power, unattainable person. Anyways, the Hierophant can represent a Hierophant group or secret society such as 33-degree Masons or Skull and Bones group, for example. The overall energy of the Hierophant is spiritual growth, teamwork. Teamwork is necessary for job contentment. The Hierophant is always watching out for ethical and moral conflicts. The need for social opinions affects the decisions of the Hierophant. So we're going to shuffle the deck and pull 1 card for one of the positions. And I'll show you how the book actually works. Oh, also, when you get this book and these cards, just go to the dollar store and get like a journal, okay, and a pen, and spend like a couple dollars on that, and then have a tarot journal so that when you do the readings and you get the messages, when you come across important information, that you write it down or record your readings, okay, and speak out loud. But if you're going to be pulling cards for yourself, definitely have a tarot journal and write the things that you learned down and the card combinations and all of that. I would just like record it so that you can go back, because there's always going to be more information you can pick up and receive. All right, so position 1 represents the crown chakra and reveals royalties, nobilities. The crown chakra is right here on the crown of the head. Royalties, nobilities, powers, and dignities related to your personal throne of power and purpose for the universe. The higher thoughts of your higher mind can be shown to you here. You may see a clue. You may see a clue to your clarity on how to execute your divine life purpose / mission. If you pull the Strength Tarot card for this position, you will know that your spiritual crown and throne and royal blood is strong. If you pull the High Priestess for this position, it could mean that you're about to embark on a new phase of life or a new initiation is about to take place. The Knight of Pentacles, interesting. The Knight of Pentacles. So this is what it's talking about as far as you guys being able to, well, a knight has service. It's about service. The knight has certain privileges, okay? Like when they become crowned a knight. I don't know if you guys know that, but knighthood, knights, they actually have specific, like, what is it called? There's exceptions made for them. Yeah, royalties, nobilities, basically, they get crowned. And the one takes the sword. Yeah, it's called crowning. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, this is indicating somebody that works hard, your job being the center of your life. Yes, okay, absolutely. Financially successful, patient, and extremely focused. Traditional values of hard work and public service. Yes, community. Ethical, conservative, realistic, and down to earth. Follows through and keeps his word, underestimated by most people. That's a dope energy to have right there. Seriously. Okay, I want to pull one more. Position 2 is the Hierophant. This book is so fun. It's literally addicting. It's so fun. Okay. So this is the position of authority that the seeker wants to be in. This card position can reveal to how masculine, authoritarian, high priests in your life have influenced your choices. This card position can show different leadership skills that you have. It says, this can show you your higher purpose and how to address your higher purpose. If you pull the High Priestess card for this position, it could reveal to you that you are in alignment with your higher purpose. Remember to use the yes and no answer of the tarot card that you pulled to see if you're in alignment or not with each position. So the more confirmation that you receive, the better. If you pull the Hierophant tarot card for this position, you will know that you are a Hierophant and are meant to be a great leader. Or it could mean that you will become the Hierophant and will lead others. It says again, use the yes and no answer with the tarot card that is pulled for this position to know if it is your destiny to lead others. The Knight of Wands. So I would say so. Because look, the Knight of Wands is a yes card. Indicates a male that's under 40, but we take the demographics out of it. Confident, sexy, and seductive. Attractive to women and men. Full of energy, always in a rush with a lot of nervous energy. So this could be talking about when it comes to your higher purpose, you having a little bit of nervousness there. I think that that's okay though. Excellent at starting a project, but not good at maintaining things. So this is talking about, you know, maybe working on maintaining things. You have 2 Knight cards. When it comes to your Hierophant ability, you got 2 Knight cards coming out right next to each other. So the Knight of Wands is like somebody that gets something going in a new direction, seeks constant change, impatient. Maybe there's something with your temperament that just needs to be addressed. I'm going to take this myself personally, and I'm going to go within on it, and I'm going to clear it and address it, okay? Because I already know the techniques from the truth of God, so I can literally clear it once I become aware. Once I become aware of something, then it can be healed. But yeah, I can definitely see within myself being impatient, first of all, passionate, temperament, enthusiastic, very emotional. I could also see that about myself. Okay. So there could be understands others' motivations, being able to read other people. I want to do one more. Okay. and then I'm going to go to the back of the book. So position 3 is the key to heaven. This card position will reveal to you your connection to the heavens. As above, so below. The heavenly source in you will be shown how to access higher realms and what connections that you have in the higher state of being. If it is meant for you to become a Hierophant, that may be unveiled in the card that you pull for this position. Any natural skills and skill sets that have been kept for you in the heavens will be shown to you through the card that you pull for this position. If you pull the Star Tarot card for this position, it could mean that a key to your destiny is written in the stars that are waiting for you to read them. If you pull the Temperance Tarot card for this position, it could be an indicator that you are divinely protected by the heavenly realm. You may have a connection to Archangel Michael and the other archangels or ascended masters. If you pull the Hierophant Tarot card for this position, you can rest assured that you have authority in the spirit. If you pull the Hangman Tarot card for this position, it could indicate that Jesus Christ is one of your spirit guides or is an ancestor. The Tower. You know what this is about? This is about another energy that was interfering. As above, so below. Look, as above, there was an abuse of power as above. Okay? When we think of as above, that's like the higher realms. There was an abuse of power. There's a huge change happening right now. This is crazy. So yeah, but this is not a bad energy. This is bringing about positive change because the abuse of power that was happening had to be stopped. And now that I think of it, when there is an abuse of power, it is happening as above and so below. So like I've always heard that once something is done in the above, then it's done in the below. And that's what's happening right now. Wow. Position 4 is the divine intervention. So I'm wondering that if, not to go into a whole separate reading, but like if there's a tower happening above and beings are being casted out of being in power, I'm wondering what the shift is going to be. Says this card represents the divine intervention that's going to take place when you get into your divine life purpose. Whatever protection and ancestral guidance that you have may be shown to you in the card that you pull for this spot. If you have any spiritual karmic debt on you that needs to be cleared, that can come through the spot here. If you pull the Last Judgment tarot card for this position, it could mean that you are being judged by the heavens, in the heavens above. If you pull the Justice tarot card for this position, it could indicate that you have a helping hand that is coming from the heavens, that either you or the one that you are reading for is defended by the Most High God. Interesting. I would say also an Ace of Swords. If you pull the Death Tarot card in the reverse, it could indicate that you're experiencing a metaphorical or metaphysical rebirth at the current moment. Okay, let's get one more. The Moon. A lot of you guys probably could associate with the moon. So there's definitely something that's going on at nighttime, you guys. You have a helping hand that's coming in the night. Okay, so maybe if some of you guys feel more afraid at nighttime or more vulnerable, this is what I'm getting, that somebody was being tested. I think you were being tested, and so was this other person or this group of people. Interesting. Because, yeah, the divine intervention is going to happen at night. Wow. That's dope, you guys. All right. Oh, if you go to the back of the book. So if you were to be doing any of these readings, like we pulled 2 cards out that were major arcana cards. So I would pause the reading, and the first one was the Tower. I would go to the back of the book and see if the Tower and the Moon are there. And then if they're not, then I would go to the Moon and see if the Moon and the Tower are there. We're going to go to the Hierophant, though. Well, actually, no, we'll just go to the Tower and see if it's there. Okay. If you pull the Tower card at any point, it could indicate that something will come to a complete stop or end. The Tower is an emergency situation that causes pain and disappointment in one's life. Something will have to be let go of for movement to the future, movement forward in the future. If you pull the Tower and then pull the Death card, no, we're looking for the Tower and the Moon. It could indicate that an untimely end will occur. If you pull the Tower card in the reverse, well, it's not in the reverse. Let's just see. So it's not there. So let's go to the Moon. The Moon tells you that your personal faith and integrity will be tested. Let's see if the Moon and the Tower is in here. The Moon represents the powers of nighttime. I don't think it's in there. We're writing it down. The Moon and the Tower. I could literally see that somebody's, ooh, some shit's gonna go down at night. So how I would read that is that something is gonna go down at night. It's like some type of spiritual war. All right, you guys, check this book out. That was fun. I totally went into it. I did not think the reading would be this long, but check these books out. They're tagged in the products and linked in the description box below. We have Vassago Tarot Card Spreads and Spells, and we have The Truth of God by Michael STEADMAN. And so those are tagged in the products and linked in the description box below if you guys are interested. Check them out. But I love you guys so much. Peace be with you. Please like the video, tap the notification bell, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one, okay? God bless you. Thank you, everybody, for your donations, for your kindness, and for your love. I really appreciate it. Please leave a comment if you could do that. Hype the video. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, watch the other readings, because each reading is going to hold a personal message for you. that will help you with your spiritual journey, okay? I love you guys so much. Kisses and hugs and peace be with you. I'll see you guys in the next one.